Hi, my name's Jeremy, this is Red Means Recording, and today we are celebrating the fact that this channel now has over 200,000 subscribers. That's pretty crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you, seriously, thank you. This is weird and crazy and it's cool, thanks. Awesome, terrific. Yay! So at 50,000 subscribers, I was like, this is crazy, and I did a kind of tongue-in-cheek studio tour. At 100,000 subscribers, I was like, and I did a Q&A. It's been a really weird trip from nothing to where we are now. So I want to do a little retrospective of how the channel got to where it is. We'll do a new studio tour, because I have a new studio, and then I want to talk a little bit about where the channel's going. So let's do the thing. So before the OP1, before I even thought about YouTube as anything, the first project that really kind of like started me down this path was something for Raina Denord's Modifier blog. When I was living in San Francisco, I was DJing a lot, and she reached out and asked if I would do a DJ mix for her project. And there were some really cool people doing stuff for her, so I was really excited about that. And that turned into the first Glowfish EP, which spawned the video for The Lope. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out in the links below. So that was my first kind of like music video presence on YouTube, and one of my first major releases. I'm still proud of it today. I got this guy in 2012, and for the first couple weeks that I had it, I took it to bed with me, literally. I was so excited about it, and I wanted to learn it, that I would take it to bed at night instead of reading, and I would practice on it. And the tracks that I made from that ended up as a release called Pluralism. I released Pluralism in 2012, and that was my first big OP1 project. So that's how I really got to know the device and make music with it like what you hear today. In Christmas of 2012, my partner and I both bought each other the same Christmas present without knowing what was going on. And that was the kit for the original CDM MeBlip digital synth. And we did a build video, like a time-lapse thing, and then playing it. And I remember it got picked up by CDM because they were, using it for advertising and stuff like that. And that was my first taste of like, okay, well, if I make a video with something in it, the manufacturer is kind of interested in that. And that was kind of a big revelation to me. In 2013, I had been experimenting with a Behringer BCR 2000 and a big sprawling Ableton live set that I thought I might be able to get into live music with. And I released Forlorn and the Take On Me remix as live remix sessions on the channel. And that was pretty fun. I really had a good time with those. They ended up being part of a big sprawling sort of like live DJ album called In Control, which I released in October of 2013. This was all done with a Launchpad and a BCR 2000 manipulating effects custom mapped on Ableton. So that's when I started getting into live music on the channel. In winter of 2013, I also released an EP called Find Me, which included a video for the title track that was all done in Cinema 4D. And I spent months on this thing. I had every single computer I could rendering, work computers. I had a laptop at work rendering. Our power bill went up because I was rendering so much. But I'm really proud of the video, and it was a really, really cool way to learn Cinema 4D, which I used some of those techniques later making videos, and actually helped me land the job that I have now. September of 2013, I made the first kind of like proto OP1 video. There was no subtitles. It was just kind of like me sitting down and jamming with it. I hadn't picked it up for a while, and I just kind of wanted to mess around, and I don't know why, I just decided to film it. It's not my most popular video, but it did sort of like start me down the road to making the OP1 videos that everybody knows today. Around that time, I moved from San Francisco to Oakland with my partner, Brian. I was working at a media distribution job that I had 2 days work from home a week. It was fantastic. And I took that time to work on music pretty much. My job was relatively low impact, and I would get what I needed to do for work done, and then I would work on music. And the sessions that I was working on at that point ended up becoming probably my most ambitious album project, which was Psychic Realty. And this was the album where I sung on every track and played guitar. It was my like alternative album, I guess. I'm really, really, really still proud of that album. It's really, really personal to me. All the songs on it are about things that that really happened. I don't know, it's just a really personal project. It spawned 2 music videos, one for Hold On. I did that in our small 2-bedroom Oakland apartment with a projector I borrowed from work, Resolume VJ software, a smoke machine, and a strobe light. and some unplugged keyboards. It was pretty fun. Most of it was like shot in a bathroom. And I decided to shoot another video for that project called My Heart Is Your Home. These both got released to YouTube. No one really gives a shit about them for some reason. I don't know why. So you should go look at them. There's links and stuff. Yeah. Those two videos were also my first foray into actually trying to do live action music videos, which would inform my method when I did the Sing Me to Sleep video last year. So after that stuff came out, I took what looks like a pretty big break. I'm not exactly sure what I was doing. I might have been on tour as an audio tech at that point. I came back and I got a bunch of tracks together that were sort of half finished, and I released Vanitas, which is another favorite album. Only part of it is on streaming, so if you want the whole thing, go to Bandcamp to check it out. So I released two videos for that. Avalon, which was made using the Max for Live Gaunt's Groff plugin, and In the Dark, which was another super ambitious CG project where I decided to teach myself Trapcode Form and Particular, I think, to make this kind of weird techie looking thing. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's another one of those videos I'm really, really proud of, but no one really seems to know about. So check the links in the description for that. And make sure to go check out the album on Bandcamp if you want the whole thing, as opposed to just the small EP that's on streaming. So at this point, I was still doing everything just for me. Like, there was no idea of being a YouTuber. There was no interaction with the audience, so to speak, like I have now. I was just making art that made me happy. Things started to get kind of interesting when I decided to take those 2 work from home days and start planning and executing on these hardware jam videos. I decided to finally get a hardware setup centered around the Zach Windsor hack for the BCR 2000 and some effects pedals and the Virus and some other stuff that I had. So I started making these hardware jam videos, 1 a week, which was way too ambitious, honestly. But the first one that I did was called The Faraway Dreams. It's a super chill thing using a couple Me Blips and the LXR Sonic Potions and the OP1 and stuff. It got picked up by CDM again because I was using the Me Blips, and this time, as opposed to just sort of a small mention, Peter Kieran decided to do a full feature on me and my work, and it was a huge ego boost. And I realized that maybe I was actually doing something worthwhile. Maybe I was actually doing something that was good, and that helped me do more of those jam videos. And they're all really cool. Again, they don't have a lot of views, so I'm hoping that maybe people will go check out some of this older stuff. Those were a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about hardware, playing live, and just kind of like how difficult it is, but also how fun it can be. And I've honed my setup since then to be more and more fun, and hope to get back into that kind of stuff. So that brings us to January 20th, 2016. Not the day when everything changed, but the day when the thing that would change everything was made. This is the day that I decided to record the OP1 Love is Blind jam, the first OP1 jam that eventually garnered all the attention to make the channel what it is today. And the weird thing about that jam is it did not get any views until a whole year later. I recorded it January 2016, and then like the 17th of January 2017 or something like that, it got like 300,000 views. And I still don't know who picked it up. I still don't know like what happened, but yeah, it was January 2016 when I recorded that first OP1 video. In February 2016, I recorded this milestone. Just important to do random shit sometimes, I guess. May 2016, my partner and I moved to Seattle. I grew up in Tacoma, Seattle. He grew up in New Jersey. We both decided we were tired of the Bay Area for about a billion reasons, and we moved to Seattle. I was unemployed for 2 months while I was looking for a job. I tried to make use of that time as best as possible. I recorded a bunch of jam videos with the OP1. At that point, things were starting to pick up a little bit in terms of attention, so that was really cool. Kind of kept me going. I also created the Barco's Narcos intro parody video, which blew up. Not anywhere near the numbers that like some of the OP1 stuff I did, but it was my first taste of like really weird viral video success. I had people ripping it, stealing it. I had people contacting me left and right, either to show the video somewhere if they didn't just steal it, or everyone wanted a template. They thought I just made it with a template, which no, it took like 2 months. So that was really weird. And I started kind of getting a sense of just like how double-edged attention can be. It's not always fun. And I remember a few tense weeks when that got popular where I really had to like spend almost every day trying to find copies of it just to delete from places. It was a great way to learn After Effects, really dive in and learn After Effects. And it also contributed to the job that I eventually got at a production studio in Bellevue, where I still work today. So throughout 2016, I was recording new OP1 jams, I don't know, once a month or something like that. It was pretty low key. I was just messing around. And then in November of 2016, my partner Brian got really sick. And at first we just thought it was a persistent flu, but it turned out to be something a lot worse. And we took him to the ER finally, and we thought he was okay, got sent home after spending a week at the hospital, and then ended up getting readmitted and having to have surgery for what was going on. And the rest of November and December were basically spent in the hospital. He had complication after complication, and it was really messed up. And it's just, we didn't know what was going to happen. He spent my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all in the hospital. He obviously came home and is doing a lot better now, but it was incredibly scary and a really weird time, especially considering I was still making content at that point. Halo, one of the OP1 videos, was edited at the hospital, like next to his bed, over a couple weeks, and that's kind of why it has the vibe that it does. I'm really happy that he made it through and that he's as strong as a person as he is, because it would have been really not fathomable otherwise.
Hello.
Looks like around December of 2016 is also when I actually rebranded the channel to Red Means Recording, recorded a channel trailer, and made it legit, air quotes, legit. Everything that's happened with the channel, everything that you've seen, has been because people have suggested it. I'm kind of along for the ride here. I don't really know what I'm doing. So if enough people suggest something, I'm kind of like, okay, well, I can make some people happy by doing this, so why not do it?
Hello.
First week of 2017, I created 2 motion graphic pieces that were sort of my first conversation with the audience, because I was getting a lot of questions from people and I wanted to start answering those questions. So how I record my synthesizer videos, and is the OP1 a great synth for the beginner? These were the first times that I was like, okay, I can have a conversation with you, even though I didn't want to put my face on camera, which, as we all know, has changed now, because here I am. In May of 2017, we hit 50,000 subscribers, and that was the first time I decided to put my face on camera, and, well, outside the music videos that I had done before, and we did kind of a studio tour. It was fun. I did not take it seriously at all, and I kind of wanted to continue with that energy throughout if I was going to show my face on camera. That's changed a little bit, as you can see. Around the same time, I finally got my music up on streaming services via DistroKid, like everybody had been asking for. Again, a really good suggestion, and I've seen a lot of really great results from that. Spotify actually recently has been putting my singles into some of the playlists that have a lot of views, so that's phenomenal. I'm really stoked on that. So again, thank you for the suggestion, because I probably wouldn't have done it without you guys telling me to. All night long. And then June 2017, I recorded I Need You with this thing. This video has gone on to have over 2 million views. I still get regularly comments about it. People are still watching it. It changed everything. I don't really know what happened. The really ironic thing about I Need You is, at that point, and you can read it throughout the entire video, I was actually having an extreme crisis of conscience about continuing to make these OP1 videos and repeating myself, and just like, it just felt like a drag. And it's incredibly ironic to me that this video was the one where I'm like freaking out about making these things, and it's blown the hell up. And I think 90% of the subscribers that are on this channel are probably here to see more content exactly like that video. Now, to be fair, Nicotine and Reggie's song both have done extremely well, and you know, they're kind of in the same vein melodically, but I Need You, I guess because of the way that I did mems and stuff like that, memes, memes. I don't know. It was hugely popular, and I'm grateful for that, but I don't really understand why. July of 2017, probably in part to the success of I Need You, we reached 100,000 subs. That's what that little plaque over there on the wall is. Yeah. I did a Q&A video where I tried to answer a bunch of questions from people, and that was a lot of fun. I felt like I was really connecting with the audience at that point. November of 2017, I released my last current full-length album called Juvenile Hyperobject. I released a video for it called Sing Me to Sleep, which I recorded at my work studio. It was a ton of fun. I had a lot of fun with both the album and the video, and I was blown away by the response from people who went and listened to it and downloaded it and streamed it. I had no idea it was going to be as well received as it was, and I can't say. It's hard to describe how good that made me feel. Just thank you, seriously. To have something like that well received by a lot of people who seem to really genuinely like it, that's the musician's dream, right? Like, that's what you want. So I feel incredibly lucky that I have that opportunity at this point to put something out and have people actually enjoy it. So yeah, next big milestone, I guess, was the 4 producers, 1 sample thing that Andrew Huang spearheaded. Cuckoo, Rachel Collier, me, and Andrew all remixed a track by Lucy Swan, and I had a lot of fun with that, and it got a lot of views, and people really liked the track. So again, you know, that validation of having the music well received is just, it's so really, really, really cool. It also kind of marked a new direction for me musically to start exploring some of the sounds that I had been really, really enjoying, but hadn't gotten a chance to mess with yet. Patreon. April of 2018, I launched the Patreon. That was a big step, and it's been really, really good. And then the next big thing for the channel, which hasn't happened yet, hopefully it's coming out, and hopefully I'm not jinxing it by talking about it, but I have 10 tracks that I've written for the YouTube Music Library that I'm incredibly proud of, and you'll be able to use them in your videos and monetize. And they're coming out soon. I just don't have a release date yet. So that's the long, strange trip of the channel. Stuff that I made for me, stuff that I made for you, stuff that's somewhat in between, and just kind of how it all happened. The motivation for this whole thing has always been your response to my stuff and suggestions, likes, just, you know, it keeps me going. I love it. So here's to 200,000 subscribers. I don't have any alcohol right now, but cheers. Okay, let's do a studio tour. So the first section here is where most of the videos that I've recorded that you've seen are done, at least since I moved into the new space. This is a big shop table that I bought that has worked out perfectly for shooting these kinds of videos. Usually there's a tripod sitting on it, facing straight down, but since I'm using the tripod to record this shot, I can't show that off. So I have a laptop station running an old MacBook Pro. I have a iConnect Audio Connect 4 that's recording both audio and MIDI. I have a Studio Electronics 2200A on a boom that I use to record vocals if I'm doing some kind of tutorial kind of thing. A couple old cameras that I used to shoot with, a Canon 60D and a Canon 5D Mark II, a shop light that I don't really use that much because, as you can see, I have an incredible amount of natural light, which is awesome. On the chopping block right now is the Roland DO5. I've just got it a couple days ago and I've been going through presets. I'm using the Arturia key step to trigger it. It's a really, really, really cool little synth, and I'm excited to do some jam videos with it like I did with the Mini Brute 2 and the Bass Station 2. So probably in a couple weeks I'll end up doing something like that. So yeah, that's this section. Let's go on to the next. This is my hardware rig. This has gone through a couple different incarnations. This is the first time I've actually had space to really let it all hang out together. Let's go through what's on the table here. I got an Electron Digitact, which is a sampler drum machine. I got the Electron Digitone, which is an FM synth. I have the Novation Bass Station 2, which is an analog monosynth. And I have the Access Virus Indigo 2, which is the Access Virus C in a cool sort of like roadster case. I also have the MixPre 10M, which I use to record everything into. It's a multi-track Flash recorder that I did a video on recently, Mackie 1202 VLZ4, which is a basic mixer, and then a pair of Atom Audio T7Vs for listening and monitoring. These I chose because of their price point. I didn't want to break the bank with another pair of monitor speakers, but they've proven to be fantastic. I love the way they sound, and they're perfect for this little jam station, but they're also really, really good for running mixes through as just a sort of like sanity check when I'm mixing stuff. So I kind of use them for both. So that's the hardware jam station. It's a beaut. Let's move on to the next section. Here's my main digital audio workstation section. This has gone through many, many different changes in terms of hardware input, but I finally arrived at something where I feel like I can sit down and have a lot of fun working in my DAW. I'm running Ableton 10. I have a Push 2 as my controller for that. The thing you see next to it is the Expressive E Touchy. It's a multi-access MIDI controller that I'll be showing off a little bit more. I've got a Focusrite Pro 40 audio interface, a couple power conditioners, and a Motu MIDI Express XT for when I want to do multi-channel MIDI sequencing from my computer. The monitors are a pair of Dynaudio BM6As. I've had them forever. They are still fantastic. More recent addition, which has also changed my game completely from the DAW perspective, is this Complete Control S49 MIDI controller. I love this thing to death. I got it around the time I was doing the YouTube music project, and holy moly, I never knew I could be so excited about a MIDI controller. Some other random stuff. I got this really cool painting from a friend, Joey Myers. It's awesome. It's pretty much the only piece of art I have in my studio, but I love it. I got this plaque from YouTube for doing a thing. Actually, you all did the thing, so yeah, this is yours. Where should I send it? Just send me your credit card information and address, and I'll get it to you. Here's a fox wearing a hat, because why not? And finally, here's a hand. Yeah, it's a hand, as in give yourself a hand, because you're awesome. This concludes our studio tour. Hey, so that's the studio. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a really, really cozy place to work. And I'm extremely lucky and happy that I have like a dedicated space now. It makes a huge difference. So that leaves us to just talk about the future of the channel. Something that has occurred to me over the last year or so as I've been working on this stuff is that I need to get back to kind of the roots of what made this channel interesting to people in the first place. And as much as I had a crisis of conscience about making stuff like the OP1 videos, I've come to understand why people like them. And I think that's a combination of seeing music being made in real time, the captions explaining what's going on with a little bit of humor, really terrible memes. It's kind of infotainment, I guess. I kind of took a detour, especially when companies started wanting me to review gear on my channel. And it started to feel like a treadmill. I want to get off that treadmill and get back to the kind of stuff that's more of the roots of this channel. So my plan going forward is to review less gear and do more videos in the style of the OP1 videos, but with the rest of my gear. I need to spend more time with the stuff that I have, the base station, the Digitone, the Digitex, my poor neglected Access Virus, all this stuff I want to do more with. And I want to do it in the style of the OP1 videos. With that, I also want to get a little bit away from having to put out something every week, because I think that the quality of the content I've put out has kind of diminished a little bit because of that. And also it's incredibly stressful. The treadmill analogy is real. I have an incredibly busy life as a working adult with 2 fur babies and a partner and a house that constantly needs work. And I need to make sure that I balance my life with my creativity, while at the same time still making stuff that people enjoy, because I love this. I love being able to make stuff and have it go out into the world and have people respond positively to it. It's something that I've wanted for my entire life as a creative, and now I finally have it. So I don't want to give that up. I just want to kind of consolidate my energy a little bit more. Yeah, that's the future of the channel. After I get the videos done that I have in the pipeline that are sort of already planned, I'm gonna kind of recenter and regroup and focus on that kind of content. And I hope that you'll stick with me and that you'll like it. It means more OP1 videos, so everyone's happy, right? Anyways, 200,000 subscribers. I never thought this would happen. Thank you. It's crazy. I hope y'all are having fun with me, because I'm having fun with you. This is Jeremy. I'm Red Means Recording. Wait, no. I'm Jeremy. This is Red Beans Recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.